let's start there. Like, I'm sure we all want to be in Florida where you are right now, which is awesome. But like, just from a competitive standpoint, things are going really well for you personally, going well for the team. Are we good about this break, or are you like, man, I want to get back out there and finish this thing?
I think at the start we were all kind of ready for the break. It was just a lot of hockey in a short period of time, and then, I mean, I was just kind of trying to get through the last couple games and just to rest and kind of recover and reset the mind a little bit. But yeah, we were down here. I was down here for probably 3 days, and then I was like, all right, let's go back now. But wait, we got another 4 days to go.
My gosh.
We still got a little more time, but yeah, definitely think people are, at least I am, ready to get back and get playing hockey again.
So, I mean, one of the questions we get asked the most, really, like, this is so stupid and dumb, but it's like, hey, are the Rangers for real? Like, honestly, like, if we could distill the hockey questions we get down to one question, it's that. And not to speak for Sean, but I like to anyways. But what is so I'll pose it to you, and I know you're going to say yes, of course, but like, I guess why did you think there's doubt, and like, what has you convinced this team is ready to kind of be legit?
I mean, I definitely think there's areas we can improve on. We still know we can do that. I mean, I'm sure every team says that, but I mean, if you look at the team, you have a potential Vezina Trophy candidate, you have a Norris candidate, you have a Rocket candidate, potentially another Hart candidate in that with the Vezina. So, I mean, you have those kind of players. I'd say your team's for real and has a chance, and we also have some pretty good players surrounding those guys. So, yeah, I mean, we can get better, and I think that's something in our room. At least we know that we find a way to win games, and we are not our best, and we're still kind of waiting to kind of string together a stretch that we're playing our best hockey for complete games.
Surprised you would refer to yourself as a Norris Trophy. That's I know you're having a good year. Yeah, but like, I mean, it seems to come together for you. Is this what, year 3, right? I've lost track. Year 3 in New York. So, yep. I mean, year 1, I don't know, acclimation. The team wasn't great. Also, year 2, injuries, but it seems like it was going. I want to sit on year 2 for 1 second, because I do remember reading things like you were a much bigger presence in the room. Like, teammates really seemed to notice that. When did that start to happen for you in terms of you kind of asserting yourself as a leader?
I think it's just kind of a natural progression. I mean, I'm kind of a guy who feels my way through situations. I mean, I wish I wasn't, but I've always been this way, where I'm kind of reserved and quiet until I get to know someone and trust them, and then I'll kind of open up and be myself. And I wish I wasn't like that, but kind of just figured out who I am. But so, yeah, I mean, going to New York was obviously a huge change. The first year was kind of just even off the ice living, and I don't know, I didn't have a car with a garage in it. I think it's just a different thing. That, like, growing up in Michigan, I never really thought I'd live that way, I guess. I mean, I learned to love it, and I think I just got more and more comfortable, and come to the rink, the people at the rink, and yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, I thought this would happen when I get more comfortable. It's kind of how it's been everywhere I've been, but it's definitely nice to kind of settle in and be comfortable.
So are you still living in the city, or did you move somewhere with a garage?
Well, we bought a place in the city. I'm a
you're out there.
downtowner.
You're in it. I love that. I love that.
Oh yeah.
I actually know where you bought, because when I was researching, that was like the first 10 stories were about your place and like sharing a space with Jennifer Lawrence and stuff. That's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it got so public, but like the day that it got like recorded or whatever, it kind of went everywhere. And I was like, whoa. What's going on?
Somebody leaked that for sure.
Well, I missed something here. My God.
Yeah. I can fill you in on all the details of the sale later, Sean.
There's people far more popular than me living in the building. So then it becomes a thing.
Jacob, I got to do a better job of Googling your Googling your real estate purchases. Craig's on it.
I'm on it. Hey.
You mentioned Kreider because you're talking about Rocket candidates and all that. I think there's a lot of people who were probably a little surprised to look up last week and see that he hit the 30 goal mark. That happened before the break. He's been a good player for a really long time. I think everybody knows that. But Is it just as simple as, getting bounces this year that has his production jacked that far up? Because that's a wild pace. We're halfway through the season and he's at 30.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it's bounces or luck. I think it's you can even see like just his presence around the rink. He's very comfortable and confident with who he is and the player he is. He knows what makes him good. He knows how he's effective on the ice, and he's scored a lot of goals doing that. Obviously, I think the players he's playing with is a big impact. The power play, there's 4 other very dangerous players out there that have to be respected and accounted for, and he gets some space in front of the net, and he's, in my opinion, the best guy to have down there in the league, whether it's tipping pucks or even screens. Like, he does so much with like moving screens and doesn't get any points or tip them in, but he's impacting the game, and he's a big presence. He skates, he hits, he's what you want in your power forward, and I think it's good to see what he's done this year. I think he deserves it. He's worked very hard for it, and he's one of the guys who helps everybody along with him. It's not him having a great year. He's still just trying to bring everyone with him and help other guys improve their games.
That was one of the guys I know when the NHL Olympic announcement went sideways or whatever, like that. I remember Sean saying, I feel bad for someone like Chris Kreider, right? Like, where it was all coming, he was going to have a big role in that team. And I mean, it was rough on everybody. And so I'm curious now that it's transitioned, how much are you tracking, the Americans, and like, it's hard.
Yeah. I'm not telling. I pay attention. I mean, I've been watching. I don't know why, but for some reason, I've been watching a lot of curling. I feel like that's what's been on TV at night.
That's great.
It's the best. It's the best sport going. It's like watching a bar. It's like someone took a bar game and turned it into like.
It is nice. I like when they cut to like the last like 5 stones though, so you have to watch the first like 10.
No, we don't want that.
Just want the interesting shots. But yeah, I mean, I pay attention a little bit. It's obviously a unique time in the world, a pretty unique situation with the circumstances. And I mean, do guys want to go? Yeah. Was it the right call to probably not go? Probably, yeah, as well. But yeah, I mean, it's tough because guys, it's the Stanley Cup and Olympic gold medal is what you kind of dream of as a kid. And to not to have that opportunity that's the unfortunate part, I guess. But reality is what the reality is.
Yeah.
Was that something that lingered at all, or was that just like a one-day thing? Because a lot of you guys on that roster were.
Yeah, there was some cases to be made for the Americans.
Going to be in the mix for stuff. So is it just like a one-day thing where you guys came in and were just like, oh shit, all right, whatever. Like it's official, and then you moved on. Like what was the vibe whenever all that went down? How long did it last?
I mean, there's like talks of it for whatever, like a month or 2 leading up to it. I think guys saw it trending that direction. So when they finally announced it was whatever. I mean, the other way you can look at it is we're having a great season with the Rangers. We have an opportunity to do something, and do you want to go to the Olympics and potentially have whatever happens and jeopardize that in any way? And then I think the Raiders guys want to go. They have that thought in their mind of, hey, we got something to work on here as well. So I don't think it was too big of I think guys were disappointed, obviously, but it wasn't end of the world, I don't think.
How do you see I remember you kind of coming public with some of just how challenging the testing was and all the protocols. How, like, as this starts to potentially loosen up and change, from a player's perspective and from just being able to focus on hockey, where do you see that benefit, or how do you see that changing from your perspective? I mean, I think it's good. I think obviously eventually I think things are going to move on. I think there's obviously the smart way to do it, and that's over my head. But for me, the biggest thing was just kind of, again, the reality was going into the rink and not knowing, am I positive, am I not positive, or there's someone else? Like, what's going to happen today? We test in the morning and go skate, and then you wake up from your nap and go down, and there's whatever 1, 2, 3 guys that aren't playing. It's just kind of that unknown all the time, and it's not really stress or anxiety. It's just like what could potentially happen today with this. Right. Yes.
It's kind of that feeling of, you know what I mean? You didn't know like who you're playing with, what's going on, and coaches get it. That whole thing we've been through it twice now, last year and this year.
Yeah.
It's just like unique. It's, I don't know, you just don't know what to expect, I guess. So hopefully it's a little more, you know what to expect coming to the rink every day now.
We're fascinated by Gerard Gallant's success wherever he seems to go, because I think the guy that we see in the public, he just seems like this really laid back, chill guy. And when you see like these motivators and leaders, oftentimes, there's a huge presence, and he just is like, he seems to have a way with players that connects. What is it that he's been able to do in this short time that's connected with you all?
I think he lets us be us. This is going to, I might catch some heat for this, but he reminds me of Ted Lasso in a way.
We gotta just keep. We need like a 5-minute answer from you on that. I want everything about that. Let's go.
But he obviously knows the game, and he's played the game, and was very successful playing the game. But he's almost like, he is happy in the morning. He asks you how you're doing. Like, he's personable in that sense, but he's not overbearing. He lets you play. He's not gonna scold you per se. If you make a mistake, you're gonna know you made a mistake, and then you're gonna go right back out there, and you're gonna, like, he doesn't lose that trust or that confidence in you. And I think players feel that. He gets a little fiery on the bench, which I think is good. I mean, he cares, he's passionate, he wants to win. And at the end of the day, it's always about just winning the game. Like, he's not. That's all he cares about.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what you want from a coach, right? He's doesn't really over bombard you with video or with systems. You're going to work hard. You're going to give all the effort you have. And if we lose, we lose, but we're going to win more games than we lose if that's the mentality we have. And he just has that kind of the aura about him where he comes into the room and you just want to go play for the guy.
That's awesome. How much do you think, I mean, you're having this great offensive year, and I'm sure a lot of that is confidence and knowing you have a coach that believes in you. Like, how much is that reflected in your kind of offensive breakout?
Or
not at all. You don't have to agree. I'm making my own assumptions over here.
A little bit. I just feel like I'm more comfortable in my role. I know Foxy's going to do what Foxy does, and there's a role for me to fit in and kind of play a little bit harder, more defensive, and when the offense is there, the offense is there. I think, whether I have a bad game, a bad period, I think I know it in my mind. There's no fallout from it. You're going to go play your 22, 23 minutes the next night and be in the same role. And, what's expected of you, I guess. I think that goes for everyone in our lineup with Turk. I think it's pretty clear what's expected of you and what your role is to help this team win.
Has he watched Ted Lasso? Have you brought that up with him? Is he aware of the comparison?
No, I think I was the first. I tell other people that, but I've never told anybody in the media. So you guys have the.
We got the Ted Lasso scoop.
No,
is he bringing like biscuits to the morning skate?
No, he doesn't do any of that. It's just kind of like the attitude of like just happy and like. I don't know. He's just like a positive person to be around until he gets a little upset sometimes, but rightfully so.
He's baking shortbread and bringing them up to Jerry's office every day.
That's right.
I don't think he's doing that.